in some markings. They're not as obvious as these others, so that's the reason I have left them. There's little areas of paper showing through, which means I can pick up on those. There's a little bit more there, and that goes up like that. Now we now need to bring it's the same stroke that I used previously. It's better to do this in small doses, because what you don't want to do is put too much of this on and then find that you've spoiled the effect of the white, like that. And because it's so light, if I want to, as I will want to put some more light in there, I can put the white back in again. It's not going to be affected too much by it. So that's it. Now as I come over the nose, I kind of lift the pencil off the paper so we get a kind of rounded effect. I'll be putting more strength on this side in a little while. I think you can probably already see that. Yes, you can. I'm looking at the monitor now. You can see this already coming across there. Now that's good. And we don't just want the radio, but we want a bit of a yellow ochre in there as well. So as I get to this side, I just press just that little bit harder. Except there, I'm now conscious of the fact that I want that to be a little lighter later on. That's good. That's okay so far. Now we'll establish this light while we think of it. Just there. It's this area that's puffing out on the other side, so we need that to be like that. And so a nice strong dollop of white, and then just fade it off at the edges so that we get it having a little punch. That's what we're after. And that's coming down here. Now remember I said about all this business of going around here, well, we do the same thing there, go to the edge of the black, buffering the black with the ochre. Okay, that will do. A little bit of yellow ochre as well. And now because we've got this area here a little lighter, we can afford to be just maybe a little stronger just here, and that will enhance that, and it will also give us the depth on this side. Now just there's a few little attractive little markings on the animal like that, and it goes round over the nose. In fact, we'll just take that over the nose for the moment, so we have a stopping point, like I did with the fur on the top of the head earlier. We know where we're going to stop. Remember, there's no white underneath that. This is because it's going to eventually have a black added to it. And just a little more, a little twiddle. Now this is where, we've talked about the tooth of the board, the paper underneath. And that tooth is coming to its own now. Now here, where this bottom of this area of the eye duct comes down, it sort of peters out into the remaining area. That will be more obvious once I get down to this area. But that looks good for the moment. Now, the next thing we do is we've got to darken this. This is with our brown. A marking here. Going to brown. And this is not so obvious this side, so we just... You might notice that I was doing this with that because I wanted to push down, and when I came to here I wanted to lighten it up. So we are now lightening it, light touch, and I can put that in here too. See the difference it makes? Whoa. And you wonder why I love this medium. It kind of does what you tell it to. Now here, just here, I want to put a little bit, but I'm holding it very lightly now because I just want it to filter just a little bit of colour onto there. Hardly touching the paper at all. And that is the pencil that's doing it too. The fact that the pencil is so responsive. And here we make sure that we've got that nice and dark, and that nice and dark, ready for our black. And then on top of there. stop there until we finish our nose off. And here, I'm not going to do this at the moment because I need to have this area so that I can relate the whole thing together. But while we're there, let's move on to this area, and then we can finish this part of the face off. I'm using the ready ochre there because that's the area, because I'm going to put brown on that in a minute or two. And we can come right across with that. Make sure I don't do anything you can't see. You see the difference between a demonstration and a lesson. A lesson, I show you everything. Even though it might take about 7 or 8 lessons to get through this on YouTube, it's still important that you see it all. Now, the ochre. That is fantastic. That, remember, we can put our white back in again here later on when we need to. Okay, that'll do. Now, the dark brown. The only problem, I found it. There we are now. And here is where it's strongest. This is the same as this on the other side. You see this area? Okay. This is what we're doing now. We're just flicking it now. I don't want to go too far up there. But I want. Now, when I do this, I'm conscious of the fact that I must be going on to those areas that I've already put the ready ochre on, or 187. This 176 is going on top of that. If you miss, it won't matter too much, but it's always a good idea not to. But I'm going to put some black on in a minute. Now here we'll start putting this on and this on. Now you can do this at the moment, but I can't put the black on there until I've completed the area below it. And it's the same here. Okay, I haven't. That needs to be darker now. That's all right because I've completed it all. Good. Now, just before we put the black on, I'm just going to spin it round because I need some white coming back down here. Okay, that'll do. If I did it while the black was there, that would find it would be picking up the black. And here, do you remember I said, yeah, okay, good. I won't do the bottom one. Now the black, really the important colour, and it's scary to put it in, but I'll tell you what I'll do here. I'll just mask this area off for you, right? And I'll just do the top, and then you'll probably appreciate the difference it makes. Just on the darkest bit. All right. So, see, got to be done. You've got no choice. But black on its own. Let me show you what black on its own would be like. Oh, yuck! But the fact that we put the black on top of the brown, which was in turn on top of the ochre, you get away with it. And that's probably as far as you can take it without it ruining it. So we leave that alone. Now coming back on here, I think I'm more or less finished with that. I'm just going to bring a little bit of, oh no I haven't, I'm going to put a bit of black on there, just a touch of black on there. Very little compared with the amount that brown I put on there, just here, just twiddle a little bit of white in.